Namaste, welcome to Subbus Lounge Talk. Hope all are doing fine. Today I'm going to talk on a sensitive topic. Don't get angry. It's a topic on anger management. You will ask me whether anger is required in, or can we suppress anger, or how do we manage the anger. If you're born as a human being, you can't eliminate emotions. Anger is one of the emotions, but you can regulate the emotion. Now, what is regulate? If you look at the fan, you will have one regulator. What does the regulator do? If you want the fan to be slow, you keep the regulator at 1. You want it faster, you turn the regulator to point towards 2. Similarly 3, 4. If you want it at very fast, you turn the regulator at 5. What does this mean? This means the fan will run according to your regulation. In other words, the running of the fan is under your control. The fan is not running uncontrollably. Its speed is being regulated, and that regulation is in your hands. Let's take the same analogy. Anger is also an emotion that cannot be erased, but anger can be regulated. What, what do I mean by this? Why should one get angry at all when you know the consequences are unpredictable? But still we get angry. Why should we get angry at all? Sri Krishna, Lord Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, अन्याय करना पाप है, लेकिन अन्याय सहना भी पाप है. What does this mean? अन्याय करना पाप है means doing injustice is wrong, पाप, sin. But at the same time, अन्याय सहना भी पाप है. Tolerating injustice is also sin. So what happens? Anger to create confusion is wrong. But if any wrong is done, showing anger is one of our responses. It's called a Suraksha Kavach. Now, what is a Suraksha Kavach? Suraksha Kavach is an armor, it's like a shield to protect you from danger. So, when some things don't seem fair or some things happen which looks unjust, a human response is showing anger to it. Now, whether it is just or unjust is on the individual perception. We will not get into that. I'm just saying anger is a response like a Suraksha Kavach, like a shield to protect oneself from danger. Now you'll ask me, I get angry very fast. I am not able to control my anger. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I get angry. These are some of the thoughts one thinks after one gets angry. Why I got angry? I should have kept quiet. I should have allowed things to be as it is. That was unnecessary from my side. Anger was unnecessary from my side. But let me tell you one thing, it's none of our problem, because it is a natural response to avoid attack, to avoid a danger that one feels. But certain people are very calm even in stressful situations. Certain people maintain calm even when they are provoked. They don't seem to get angry. For example, Lord Buddha, he is always calm. He never seems to be provoked. But being Buddha is a very difficult in common situations, in common life. Why? Because Buddha's thinking was at a very heightened level of maturity. Buddha said, when someone is angry and he says bad things to me, I don't accept the same. By not accepting whatever the angry person says, it is with him only. Now you'll ask me how. In any transaction, there is a giver and there is a receiver. One person gives, the other person receives. So if an angry person gives and the receiver doesn't accept, then what the angry person is trying to give remains with him. That's how Buddha remains calm. But in common life, it is not easy to remain calm to every provocation. So, what can one do? One can only regulate. Regulate means keep your anger level at low, medium, or high. Why do you do that? Sometimes, as they say, to kill a fly, you need not hit it with a sledgehammer. To kill a fly, you need not hit it with a sledgehammer. Just this much is enough for the fly to, for the mosquito or fly to go away from you. So, disproportionate anger is what we are talking about. How can we control ourselves so that we don't show disproportionate anger? Now, you'll ask me, why do some people get angry very fast? I didn't tell anything to him, yet that guy got angry. I hardly meant it, but the other person takes me wrong. I wonder why, what makes people angry. Or you say, I should not have got angry on that point. Probably I should have taken it in my stride, not reacted. Now, why does this happen? There is a concept called ignition point. Now, what is an ignition point? If you strike a matchstick on the matchbox, it lights immediately. It means its ignition point is very low. If you try to heat water, it will take a long time for it to boil because its ignition point or its level of anger is at a higher level. Similarly, you say cotton. If you just touch it with fire, the cotton will get fire. Its ignition point is very low. Materials like cotton are all called combustible materials, very low ignition point. And materials that don't get heated very fast are called non-combustible, like a wet wood. How much ever you try to light up a wet wood or a wet coal, it will take a long time for it to get heated. So the wet coal has got a very high ignition point. Very high ignition point means it will take a long time for it to get angry. Similarly, every person gets angry based on their ignition point, that is their tolerance level. They are able to tolerate up to a point. Beyond this point, the cooker bursts. The pressure cooker bursts. Like there's so much of steam inside the pressure cooker will burst. So the tolerance level of every person is different. That's why you find some people getting angry very fast, some people getting angry don't get angry at all. Some people get angry just by for nothing, just like he's getting angry. So having said that, we have to understand we also have an ignition point. Now you will tell me why should we have this ignition point at all? If we don't get angry, life is good, everything is good. It is true, anger is positive as well as negative. It is negative when when you use it where the benefit of keeping calm is more than cost of being angry. What do I mean by this? By anger, or while you're angry, you have to think whether the benefit from getting angry is more than the cost of being angry. For example, with your teacher or with your mother and father or with your brother, you get angry and then you find the cost of being angry is very high. Or maybe even with your wife, even with your children. So what do they, even with your society, even with your friends, if the benefit of getting angry is less than the cost of being angry, it is better to maintain your calm. No need to get angry. As they say, to win a war, sometimes you have to lose the battle. So some things if you can solve by negotiation, no need to get angry and burst like a pressure cooker. But in spite of all your efforts, still your tolerance level is hit and you are unable to tolerate more. Maybe anger is justified. Now, why do I say anger is justified? Because many a times it is beneficial to stoop. Stoop means bending your back, saying or maro or lagao. I mean, bending your back and allowing the other person to keep harassing you. But this could be done only if you feel that by bending my back, I will still conquer. For example, in a corporate situation, sometimes you stoop to conquer, but at the same time, one should also be aware that stooping too low will make you a doormat. What does this mean? If you totally stoop low to injustice, you will become like a doormat. What happens to a doormat? Everybody will walk over it. The doormat issue problem is everybody will walk over the doormat without considering what happens to the doormat or what pain the doormat takes. Similarly, we have to judge whether I have to stoop too low and become a doormat, or I must show my displeasure by regulating my anger and use it as a Suraksha Kavach and draw the Lakshman Rekha. What does Lakshman Rekha mean? So far and not more. So far but not further. It is like saying you have the freedom to use your finger till the tip of my nose, but you don't have the freedom to touch my nose. Which means you give a freedom, you give your tolerance level for the other person to come close to your nose, but the moment it touches it, your anger is your response to tell so far but not further. With this, I come to the end of this video and hope to give you some tips about how to understand anger, manage anger, and look at the cost and benefit of anger. And not saying one should not be angry at all, because one can't eliminate anger, but one can regulate anger so that the benefit one gets is more than the cost one incurs by being angry. Hope you like this video. Like, share, and press the bell icon for further notification. Till I meet you in the next video, goodbye.